Assuage and then persuade. Anyway, Gail's worked in technology for 30 years. And her speech, love the title. I actually have an answer to this question. Take a look. Anyway, you're ready.
I am. I am. I'm ready.
This is Gail's main speech, Persuade with Power. Nature or nurture? Gail.
We had an applause there.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. Nature or nurture? It's been debated for ages. What do you think? Are you a product of your environment, your education, your training? Or are you a product of nature, built by your DNA? Which is the dominant factor in shaping who you are? Tonight I'll be covering some of the history and science behind this question, and I'm going to share with you a few stories from my own life, and then I want you to decide which side of the equation you're on. Way back in the 4th century BC, Plato first wrote about this. It was his belief that there are certain things that are innate. He didn't know about DNA, so he said there were certain things innate to each person. It's more their pedigree. It's more who they were born from than other factors. Like if you're bad seed, you're bad seed. Later in the 15th century, there was a philosopher, John Law, and he had a different point of view. In his opinion, everything we are comes from our education and what we're taught, because the mind is born as a clean slate. It wasn't until 1962 that science tipped the scale back to Plato's point of view, when Francis Crick and James Watson discovered DNA. DNA determines our physical makeup, and it's now being used to better manage our health. Did you know if you need chemotherapy, they now do a DNA test to match the chemicals that will work for your body and fight your cancer? It's very specific, and it's proven. But let's get back to the question at hand. Is it nurture or nature that guides mankind? Years ago, parents of babies born with physical or mental defects were handed a gut-wrenching verdict. The child was then ushered off to a state hospital. Then brave parents started to defy the doctors, and they'd bring their babies home. Now we hear triumphant stories of their lives. Have you heard about the young woman in Sierra Vista? She flies a plane with no arms. There's a motivational speaker. He not only has no arms, but he has no legs. He gets up in front of people and makes his living. These are all dramatic and inspirational stories where nurture trumped nature. Nurture doesn't always come from tragedy. The benefits of nurturing are available to us all. So now I'm going to tell you some stories of how nurturing impacted my view of life. I'm often asked, where did you get your sunny personality? How come you're always cheerful all the time? They're like, nah, that's it. Well, the answer is that I learned to see my life. I learned to see life through my mother's eyes. She was like the Arctic in summer. The sun in her world shone 24 hours a day. When I was 4, we lived in a lovely neighborhood outside of Boston, the suburbs of Boston. I had my own room, a swing set, a big yard, and friends. Then one day there was a drastic change. My parents had a big garage sale. What they didn't sell was packed in the trunk of the car, and we took off. I waved goodbye to my little friends. we got to the city. We ended up at this old candy store. It was abandoned. My mother took me by the hand and the three of us went inside. Inside there were empty racks where the candy used to be and old counters covered in cobwebs, and there was dust piled on everything. Trash was strewn all over the floor. But the thing that struck me first was the smell. Mom, what's that awful smell? Oh, honey, that's rat poop. We're going to sweep it up. So my mom and dad worked like whirling dervishes. They cleaned that place. They took the trash outside. It started to get dark. There was no electricity there yet. It hadn't been turned on, so they got out the lanterns, and I figured, now we'll go home. We should go. So I talked to my mom, and I said, well, are we going home now? And she looked at me. Honey, this is your home now. No! I mean, this is awful. We can't live here. My mom has a different view of the world. My mom tasted life with a palate of delight. Words from her lips were savory morsels that nourished me with courage and carried a bouquet of adventure. She used them to paint each room of that house. See those big picture windows? That's where Daddy's going to have his office. Back here, this is where we're going to live. We have everything we need. The important thing is we're together. What I learned that day has served me well. In life, you create adventure, and you craft your own happiness in life. That night, we slept on the dusty old floor of that smelly candy store, and it wasn't that, we were camping out there. And I did have a good time. My next big lesson came as a teenager. I had a dance to go to, and I had nothing but crummy old dresses to wear. I was in my room crying when my mother walked in. What is the matter? And I told her, you're crying over a dress? Let me tell you a secret. It's not the dress that makes you pretty. It's your heart. It's your smile. I wasn't entirely convinced, so she offered me some more advice. She says, go ahead and put that on. When you get to the dance, go up to people first. Go talk to the other kids first. Get them to laugh. Get them to talk with you. Listen to what they have to say. And you know what? They won't see your dress. And I went to the dance that night, and I found out that was true. Nobody noticed my dress. It has served me well all my life. I get my clothes from Savers. Nobody's gonna, I don't want anyone to notice what I'm wearing. I want them to notice maybe that I was kind to them, or I made them laugh, or something else about me that's, as my mother said, is far more important than what you're wearing. And that's been a wonderful lesson in life. As I got older, the lessons continued. I was on a business trip, and I visited my parents when they were snowbirds in Florida. They're in a trailer park. And I was all upset about corporate America. The politics were getting me down. And I started to tell them a story, and my mother stopped me, and she said, honey, people are people. From kindergarten to the nursing home. From the sandbox to corporate America. There's going to be whiners and bullies, Boy Scouts, and bad boys. You have to decide who you are. And then you have to be that. Don't tell us this whole story about what's going on at work. Concentrate your efforts in solving what the problem is, and then go back to work and solve it. That's the story we want to hear. In business, I did become a problem solver because of the great advice my mother gave me, and from the ability to see the sunny side of life. So why am I telling you all this? Because I firmly believe that it's nurturing that is a powerful tool that can make a difference in the lives of children, in the lives of the people you know. It's something more than your socioeconomic pedigree, your DNA. Nurturing can propel a person to higher levels. And what I want you all to take away tonight is that you have the power to take a bad situation and make it better. With a word you say, change your perspective, share a positive thought with somebody who might be down, and you can propel them to greater achievements. I hope you join me in my belief that nurturing can be victorious over nature, and I hope you will test it out in your own life. Mr. Toastmaster.
Mr. Timer, 2 minutes, please.